Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of Clearly Thriving. I'm Allison Clay,
And I'm Siri Harkins.
and we're thriving.
Clearly,
Clearly. Siri, what are you drinking this week?
I am drinking an Angry Orchard.
Me too. Cheers. And we are podcasting right before we go to our annual Mike and Claire's Halloween event,
Yes.
which means that we are in our costumes. These are the easiest costumes we have ever done this is our 5th year
Doing costume.
of this event, of our couples costuming. This is the easiest costume we've ever done. This is the least amount of makeup I will ever have worn to a Halloween event. Are you ready, YouTube friends? And then we'll say it for a costume reveal. 3, 2, 1. We are Hallie and Annie from The Parent Trap. I'm Annie.
And I'm Hallie.
Yes. And we only decided that. I don't really remember why.
I don't know.
But it fits because BuzzFeed, so we'd already decided on this costume because we decide on our Halloween costumes pretty much as soon as the previous Halloween is over.
Yeah.
So basically it's almost time to start planning for next year. But we had decided on these costumes, and then BuzzFeed did a quiz that was like, are you more Annie or Hallie? And I got Annie.
Yeah,
and you got Hallie. And then there were TikToks the other day. So our TikToks have been flooded with Parent Trap because we used TikTok to learn the handshake, which we probably can repost on our Instagram. So go check that out. So our algorithms were both flooded with Parent Trap stuff. And there was a girl who made an Annie aesthetic video and then a Hallie aesthetic video. And the Annie one was very much my aesthetic and the Hallie one was very much Siri's.
Oh, yeah. It was like perfect.
It really did work out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We rewatched the movie last night to get into character and for the handshake. And it holds up. It really does.
Yeah, that movie, it's so sweet. So, it came out when we were young. So, it was
I don't
one
even
of those...
think I was alive yet.
You were.
Oh. I wasn't. Oh, yes, I was. I was thinking 94.
No.
Never mind.
You were alive.
Just a baby.
Yeah, we were... Well, you were very young.
Yes.
I was of the age to watch it, but still decently young for it. But when I'm watching it then and when we were growing up, it was more oh, we're really excited about it because of Lindsay Lohan's character. We love Hallie and Annie and how fun they switch places.
And all the mischief.
Yeah, the mischief is fun, the camp stuff. And then as a grown-up, you're watching it and it's the love story. So it's there are those two kind of storylines that are relevant for different age groups. And I don't know, it's really, there are some really sweet lines and I was this is so adorable.
Yeah.
Choking up, crying.
I will say that's one thing Disney has always done really well is they make the movies so that it gets the kids, but it also gets the adults too.
Yeah.
I remember when we went to see Brave in theaters and I was older then, still a kid, but an older kid. And I told my mom, I was I didn't realize how many innuendos are in Disney movies. And she's like, oh yeah, they've always been that way. Why do you think adults like to watch them too? And I was like, oh. So now every time I rewatch anything, it's watching it for the first time because
it's you all of a sudden are the right demographic for a different
joke.
Yeah.
Which we watched The Parenthood. Wow, The Parent Trap. The Parent Trap. We watch The Parent Trap at least once a year, I feel, together.
Probably, yeah.
That's one of our comfort movies. It's The Parent Trap, Matilda, which we have not watched in a while.
Yeah, and I still haven't seen the new.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually really like the new one, but it's been a minute, so it's time for me to rewatch it.
Uh-huh.
And then we do Troop Beverly Hills.
Oh my gosh, I love Troop Beverly Hills.
Which we also have not watched in a while. But anyway, so it's a comfort movie for us, and we love it, and it holds up.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think it was funny last night, because last night we were watching it for the second time pretty recently. And so we were pointing out different things that we had
not really noticed before.
Yeah. Kind of plot holes. And we were wait.
Yeah.
But what about this?
So there was one thing where the opening shot at camp, it kind of is following a worker carrying Hallie's duffel.
The yellow duffel.
The yellow duffel. And then she basically goes and asks someone something. I mean, we don't actually hear that, but there is that little interaction, that vignette, if you will, and then she goes and tosses it on that pile. And so it's funny because then Hallie like befriends those two girls that are
Who
over
helped her
there.
get her duffel. And I was like, oh, of course you would wind up in the cabin with the two people you've met so far. And Siri was like, oh, I think that was the pile of duffels for that cabin.
Yeah, like I was like, wait a minute, I think that's they throw the duffels in the pile depending on what cabin they're going to.
Which does make sense.
Yes.
I was laughing just now to myself because Hallie's luggage looks like your luggage and Annie's luggage looks like my luggage.
A backpack and a ridiculous duffel.
Duffel.
Yeah.
A massive duffel who's
Yep.
bigger than she is. Gee, you couldn't possibly have one of them.
Gosh. But we were also laughing, like, really? That's all they brought for 6 weeks at summer camp?
Yeah, they all have just one duffel bag and one backpack.
Although then when we were watching it and I was realizing everyone's in like the camp clothes,
uniform.
I'm guessing they actually probably had a bunch that they got there.
Yeah.
Trying to like make sense of this place as if it's like
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, they probably, I mean, they're kids, so they didn't need a ton. They don't need like makeup and perfume.
Also, this was the 90s, so like the children did not have skincare routines.
Yeah, there was no drunk elephant for the tiny TikTokers. Which, by the way, drunk elephant is terrible. Do not put that shit on your face. It is so bad. Anyway, PSA. I only,
Yes.
yeah, because Estella wanted it for her birthday.
Oh, yeah.
And Justenia was asking me, because if anyone didn't know, I am a certified skincare expert and I can analyze ingredients for you. Anyway, so she was asking me, she was like, is this okay to get for Estella? And I was like, I understand why she wants it. Please do not. I was like, here are the products she wants. Here are things that will actually do what they're saying without stripping her 11-year-old skin of things that it will need in the future. Anyway,
Oh my gosh.
so PSA, don't use drunk elephant, especially if you are prepubescent.
Yes.
Anyway,
But yeah, we were just pointing out different plot holes and funny little things that, you know, you have to have that certain
suspension of disbelief.
thank you. That's exactly for any movie to really work, but
Yeah.
you know,
There were certain things that we were like, wait a minute.
like how neither of them talked to their friends after they went to the isolation. Which I mean, on
Well, I
one
mean,
hand,
they're in the isolation cabin.
yeah, which this movie doesn't go into as much as
The original.
yeah,
Yeah, we haven't watched the original
yeah,
recently.
the Haley Mills version.
I do love that version. And that
Oh,
one
yeah.
has the song.
That one has the song. That one has more, and it's like there are a lot of little like references to it in this movie. So
Yeah.
it's like if you've seen it, you know
Yeah.
more of the story, but like all the camping stuff and the mountain lights.
Yeah. That it still cracks me up.
Yeah.
Also, we were kind of laughing at how deeply all of the characters sleep in that movie.
Yeah.
Because when Annie and her friends sneak into Hallie's cabin at camp, they're all
Vice
asleep.
versa.
Oh, you're right. Anyway, but they're all asleep and no one wakes up. Like they cut one girl's hair. One girl is covered in shaving cream. The other is drowning in honey.
Yeah.
And
a
there's like
couple.
shit rigged to the ceilings and no one wakes up. No one wakes up. And then when they drag Meredith out into the lake, they do preface it with Meredith has taken a giant sleeping pill.
But their dad didn't.
Their dad is in the same tent. I'm like, that is a father, a single father. You know he wakes up. You know he wakes up. Like, Chessie is off duty at night, I would assume. Probably not.
Who knows?
Probably not. Chessie is there.
Chessie. Oh my
Chessie.
gosh. But
I freaking love Chessie. Chessie is,
she's such a great character.
she's an icon.
Yes.
We do constantly laugh over her and Martin, though,
Oh my gosh.
because he is so gay coded, and then she is every lesbian stereotype.
yeah. And then they end up together because it's the 90s.
Because what else do you do with the two single characters? You put them together.
You force some chemistry moments and then instead of it being like they're just like besties, you know.
Yeah, no. A male-female friendship couldn't possibly.
That's not
That's
real.
not
This
a
is the
thing.
90s. Oh my gosh.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah, we had a really good time watching that movie again.
Yeah.
Just so sweet. Like I love the moment where you know, they're rehashing this, Nick and Elizabeth James, and she's like, oh yeah, what was it I threw at your head? A hair dryer and whatever. But there's something where she's like, and you didn't come after me, and he was just like, I didn't know you wanted me to. And I was like, ah,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. I was like, that's so sweet. And like with
then-
the wine.
Yeah. Oh, the wine. if there was a man, which let's be clear, there will not be a man, but if there was a man who I accidentally married on a cruise ship, and then we had twins, which also will not be happening, and then he took one and I took one, which no,
Also.
I'd leave both of them with
What
him.
judge agreed to that
Right?
custody agreement?
Anyway, but if I found out 11 years and 9 months later that he had secured every bottle of wine that
From the
we
wedding.
drank at our wedding,
Oh my gosh. Like just where he was just like, oh, that's the wine
we had at our
Yeah.
wedding. I
He's
now
like-
have every bottle ever made.
I would just melt. I mean, I just melt on that line. I'm like,
Yeah, I get chills.
I know. It's
Because
just
like,
it's so sweet because that is his obsession.
yeah,
And that
his,
he knew the wine
yeah,
and he was like, I hunted down every
bottle ever made.
ever made.
And in that same case is the wine from his parents' wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's only his top prized wines.
Yeah.
Ugh.
They're just so sweet.
Yeah. And then the moments, both of the moments where they see the parent for the first time.
Yeah.
It's so good. And little Lindsay Lohan did such a good job.
Really did. That
Yeah.
movie is just done so well. Oh my god, we were dying. We rewound this one scene because when Elizabeth Jane shows up at the hotel and she's like drunk, and then she goes to the bar and the
And-
bartender serves her basically tar.
And Meredith is in the bar with her.
And she burps. And the angle of this shot is like hilarious because Meredith's reaction is so
It's priceless.
we rewound it and watched it, and even like the burp, like now is captured.
Because they film it so Natasha Richardson is in the foreground, but it's her profile, and it's this proper British gorgeous woman who is this top tier designer and just posh and gorgeous and put together. And then she's in a bar and she just goes, "Ugh."
It's like bleh.
And how her mouth opens, because you can see it 'cause it's her silhouette that you see. She just goes, "Huh?"
And then she's just
There's
like
like a little bounce to it.
Meredith's reaction is just so many little pieces that are
like-
so she's so fucking mortified. I'm like, oh my fucking god. And then she's just like, oh, you have to excuse me. I think I just drank tar. But also for her being that like smashed, like she still looks great.
She's still very British.
Oh my god. Yep.
But then Meredith does like a complete 180 because that's when she finds out that she's Elizabeth James, the designer. And she's like, "You're Elizabeth James." And Natasha Richardson is like, "Guilty."
Guilty. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Anyway, such a great movie. I discover new gems each time.
It's so good. Yeah, we figured out because I was trying to figure out okay, because there's a part where the dad is telling the girls like, well, I'm not marrying her because she's Annie Oakley, and Annie's like, who's
Who's
Annie
Annie
Oakley?
Oakley?
And I was just like, the person you're named after, you idiot.
So then I said, yeah, and they sent that one to England.
But then I was curious. I'm like, wait, where did they even get the names Annie and Hallie? Because the names are different from
Yeah.
the Haley Mills version and from the apparent book.
Yeah, apparently it's based off a book, which
Ah.
neither of us had ever noticed
No.
until last night.
No, apparently it's based off of like a German,
A German
book.
book.
And I think those characters, it's like Lisa and Lynette or something. I don't
Oh.
know. But anyway, so I was like, where did Annie and Hallie come from? So I did some exploring. The director's children are named Annie and Hallie.
Good.
And Hallie is in the movie and she is credited as
As
Lindsay.
So Lindsay played Hallie and Hallie played Lindsay.
That's so cute.
What are they in the first movie? I know one of them is Sharon.
Yeah, I think Sandra. Is that what it is? Sandra
I
and
don't
Sharon?
think it's Sandra. If it
Oh,
is, I don't know.
The Parent Trap,
Hey,
1961. Susan.
There we go. Susan and Sharon.
Yes.
That checks out.
Oh, amazing. Just what a
Cinematic art.
yes.
Yep. Wow.
Just amazing.
Good.
Their haircut in that movie is a little bit more intense than the haircut in this movie. And I don't think they had to pierce her ears. Remember?
I don't think so.
I think that was new to the 90s version.
Yeah.
Wait, okay, 60, 70, 80, 90. I really hope they don't try to do another
2020.
30-year remake.
They probably will.
They probably will. Who do we think would play it? McKenna Blake? She might be too
McKenna
old.
Grace.
McKenna Grace.
I think she's too old because she's like 17 now.
Yeah, she's too old. Who's young and
Um,
up and coming?
I don't know
No,
any
because
other
they'd have to be
kids.
still, because they would be like probably like,
They'd be like 8 now.
yeah, I don't know any good
So
8-year-olds
like
right now.
even Matilda would be too old.
Mm,
She's 14. Stella's 12, but she reads a little older,
yeah,
and she'll be. Let's
Older.
see, that'd be what, 6 years from now?
unless they start doing something now.
Oh,
If
yeah.
they were to do it now, who do you think would be? I don't want to say Jenna Ortega because I feel like she's in so
She's
much
too
and
old.
it's too, yeah, not her.
I would love if they did it right now. Matilda could do it. Matilda Waller. I love her. I love her to pieces. I've worked with her several times, and she's lovely, and I love her family. And she could do it. She'd be really funny at it, actually.
Or that girl who was in Are You There, God It's Me, Margaret.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she'd be good.
She would be super good.
Yeah, I like her.
Yeah, she's a really great little
Yeah.
actress.
But
That'd be
again,
cute.
they'd have to do it right now for her too.
Or what is that little girl from? I didn't watch that movie where she's like she meets that spy guy. She's like a little black girl.
Oh,
Because that would be fun if they did it and like
yeah,
actually. Had
I'm sure
someone
they
who's-
would if they did it again. It would be a more flavorful version.
Yeah, more conscious of their
Something Coleman.
Yeah, because I've actually never seen that movie, but from what I've seen of her, she's
But
really
I
great.
also think she's too old because she's like the same age as Darby Camp, who's the same age as Matilda or as McKenna.
Mm.
So they're all teenagers now.
Oh,
This
I guess I was just thinking she was younger.
Well,
Oh,
she was in Big Little Lies, so she's the same age as like
Was she?
Ian. Yeah,
Oh,
she's the same age as Ian and Darby, like that.
why did I think she was younger than them?
Because that movie is probably the last thing you've seen her in.
Well, I've never seen her in anything.
Well, that's true. Chloe Coleman. That's who you're thinking of. Yeah, she's a teenager now.
Oh,
Yep.
yep.
Yep. Those kids are like 16.
Well, time is constant. All right.
Yes.
So not her either. Yeah, and I guess all the Big Little Lies kids are
They're too old.
too old now.
I don't know any like current children.
Well, yeah, because they'd have to be 11, 12. It'd be like,
And Matilda's 13.
well,
I mean, Violet McGraw is 12. But we like Estella,
yeah.
but she reads older. That's the only.
Well, that's what I keep saying. I think she's going to start booking a ton more
Yeah.
now when she's kind of
I agree
in
with
more
you.
that preteen. Just because that's the thing too. It's just she's so mature. She is a very smart
Yep, she's very.
kid.
She's very Mara Wilson,
Yeah, she'll do well.
but like precocious is what I want.
Okay, because I was like, no, because Mara Wilson did not book anything as soon as she
No,
started
I
getting
didn't.
older.
I didn't mean like child Mara Wilson. I meant like Mara Wilson vibe, but
Yeah, because Mara Wilson was just very smart.
very precocious.
She just happened to book the first thing she auditioned for,
Yeah.
which was Mrs. Doubtfire.
crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But like her family never was. They were not an acting family.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, what was the last thing I saw a small child in? Good Luck Charlie has been popping up on my TikTok a lot lately, but that kid is also
Old.
15, 16,
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
So weird.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll have to just keep our eyes peeled, which is hard because right now,
We
we can't really.
see anything.
Yeah, like no one can promote anything. I was talking about there's a fan theory that the author of a book that has yet to be released, that is what a movie that has yet to be released is based on. There's this fan theory that the author is actually Taylor Swift. Maybe not going down this rabbit hole yet.
No.
I'll fill you in later because I can't
Yeah.
say the title here. But I was like, even that, I'm like, I can't just like talk about that because I'm like,
We can't promote struck projects.
yep. But no, there's like this whole thing. I guess I could talk about the book.
Yeah.
All right, so there's this book coming out, and it's written by an author by the name of Ellie Conway. But the only thing people have been able to find about that name is that there was like a random character by that name that came on like an Australian sitcom on December 13th, like in the 60s or something.
Well, that is a date.
Yep. And otherwise, like there is now an Instagram account for this author, and the comments on every post are like flooded with people that are like, is this Taylor? Like, so I'd feel really horrible if it totally wasn't. It's,
I mean, also though, she's not gonna say it's not.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, no one in that
No, that
grouping is going to deny that, because do you know what this is
that is
doing?
a great publicity. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that is phenomenal publicity.
And these are such generic.
See, that's
Oh, and it's a Scottish fold.
that's why.
I have seen this picture, but I scrolled past it because I was like, meh.
Yeah, but that's why people think it's
Look at the gun, the lipstick, the pen. No body, no crime.
yeah. But it's just so funny because then it's like, oh my
Good.
god, this poor. I mean, who knows?
It probably is not, but also nothing would surprise me.
Yeah.
Speaking of Taylor, 1989 Taylor's version came out.
Which I've been listening to nonstop ever
Same,
since.
same.
I really like it.
Same. What is your favorite from the vault track?
Say Don't Go.
I really like Slut, and I really like We Don't Talk Anymore.
Yeah, I love Say Don't Go. It just has that like
It
chorus.
feels very nostalgic.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with the re-record.
Me too.
It's it's so good.
I love it. Everything she does is perfect.
I know. Now people keep on trying to wait for like when Reputation is going to come out. Okay, and here's the thing I keep on noticing, right? Because up until now, she had been kind of alternating black, blue, black, blue.
Mhm.
So everyone, is assuming that this means Reputation is coming soon. Great. Okay, well, lately, all of her outfits are very fall, preppy, lots of browns.
Oh,
And then, so I'm like, is she about to drop
debut.
something else? I guess I didn't know.
Oh.
Although here's the thing too, I saw another person that said, I can't remember the subway picture that has all of like the titles. They were like, have you ever noticed that Reputation looks weird? And then they were like, it's because Debut TV is written over it. And you can look at it because it looks like just graffiti lettering, but if you actually look at it, it does. It's Reputation, and Debut TV is like written over it, like the D is in like the R, and yeah. So I'm like, are we going to get
A double release.
a double release? I don't
I
know.
love conspiracy theories. I think they're so fun.
Well, I just go on the rabbit hole. It's so fun. I'm like, now I need to find that picture so I can show you.
Yeah, I want to see it. Interesting. Well, she also, I want her to release, if it exists, Karma. The Forgotten
Right?
album.
The Forgotten album.
The one that was supposed to be released before Reputation, and then all of that Kanye shit happened, and then
Oh my
Reputation was
gosh.
written.
Yes.
That's the theory. But I would really like, I think it is true, just because photographically there is an era that was being launched that then just completely disappeared. Like the super short bleach blonde hair. That was for something. That wasn't just for funsies. Anyway,
I'm trying to find this, but like, well, let me just like look at it. But if you kind of look at it, it does have Debut TV like written over the top of
yes,
it.
it does. Well, anyway, all she has left to do now is take back her name and her reputation.
Oh my gosh. And then release something new for all of us, or bring back Karma. I don't know. What if all of the vault tracks are, well, no, because they all fit.
They all fit their era.
Yeah.
But I want Karma to be released.
Yeah. Although I'll be so excited for Debut.
Yeah.
I love Debut. It's actually really funny when my like children that I teach are like, ew, how long have you been listening to Taylor Swift? And I'm like, since her first album. Like, do you realize how old I am? Like,
Yeah.
are you kidding me?
I remember, so debut, I had no idea who Taylor Swift was when that first came out, obviously. And debut I got from my grandfather for Christmas that year. It was the very first Christmas he had to shop for presents by himself.
Oh.
And he got me Taylor Swift by Taylor Swift. And he was like, I don't know who it is, but it just really looked like something you would like. Because it's just the picture on the
Yeah.
front and it's blue. And there she is with her blonde curly hair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, who else has blonde curly hair? And then my life started, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Yep, I had that CD. I poured over the lyric books because that's
Yep.
what you used to do when
I
you get
used to-
CDs.
So in the booklet for debut, you know, there's so many pictures of her in that creek barefoot, and she has a purple heart drawn on her foot. I used to draw a purple heart on my foot every day for like 3 years. Probably not that long, but at least for a year and a half, at
Oh my
least.
gosh.
Every single day. Even in the winter when no one could see my feet, I still would. And I, for a long time, thought that was going to be my first tattoo.
I was about to be like, joke's on them. And I was like, wait a minute, you don't have a tattoo.
I
yet.
don't. It still could be my first tattoo.
Yeah.
The only thing is
nice.
like the top of your feet. Everywhere on your feet is supposed to be so.
It's really painful. It's just really painful.
So I wouldn't be mad at it. Like if I could just wish it there. If I could just wish tattoos places, I would have a lot of tattoos. Let's be clear. But
I mean, they're only painful in the moment.
yeah, and I am really good about grin and bearing it.
Oh my goodness.
Hence all of my piercings.
Oh yeah, you do have a lot of those. I only have my ears.
I have 8 piercings.
Ew.
All in my ears. That's the thing.
Like I could never.
Well, I only have one pair in right now because we're in
costume.
costume. But I have 3 on each lobe, so that's 6, and then I have 2 on my left helix.
I'm not a piercing person.
I am. I was asking at work the other day in the break room because I was bored. I was like, so coworkers, should I get my next piercing? Should I get either 2 here to complete this ear? Because like there's really 2
Yeah.
and then it would be like a cuff. Or should I get a conch on this ear? And everyone said conch, which I've wanted the conch for the longest. I just know that that's gonna hurt. Because like, okay, my first helix was really not painful at all. And that's the one I went to the piercer I liked.
Mm.
And then my second one was more painful, but that's the one I got on my birthday. And I really didn't like that piercer very much.
No, that was special.
Yeah, I don't really think she was super experienced. But also this one is lower, so the cartilage is thicker. It's like I knew that one would hurt more. But she did a weird thing where she like put a clamp on my ear before she pierced it. And she was like, oh, everyone says this is the worst part. It was not the worst part, but it was uncomfortable. And I had never had that done before. I was like, huh.
I'm just very confused.
Yeah. And she wouldn't let you come back.
Yeah, she wouldn't let me be back with you. So me and Oliver were just like sitting in the front, like twiddling our thumbs, and it took forever.
Well, because I bled so much. And I like that also is not normal. Like it's normal to bleed a little bit, but not so long that your one piercing takes 10 minutes.
I feel like it took longer than that.
It probably was. I was just like
Yeah, I know there was a lot of blood, but I mean,
yeah. I had been drinking, so like that's fair. But still, I still think it was a lot of blood even for that.
I bled a lot with my tattoo actually, which was really
Interesting.
But I don't know if that was just because we were at altitude or what. Like,
yeah, because your blood is thinner at altitude.
Because I was just like, that was really weird.
Yeah. Did your mom or Lisa? Because they all got you. It was all similar spots.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we all bled, but like, I think I bled the most.
Interesting.
Yeah, my little like Sandy patch was just like covered, like it was filled with blood.
Yeah.
I was like, this is gross.
Yeah.
Sanoderm. Whatever.
Yeah. But anyway, I've been having a dream quite a bit lately, and I've told you about it twice, but I'm going to tell the podcast now. Where someone tells me they will buy me a piercing, but just one. And so then I have this like existential crisis to be like, okay, do I get just one on this ear and then I only need one more to like complete it? Or do I get my conch and just know that it's gonna hurt? And I know that's gonna hurt. Because for one, that is thick cartilage. So I know that's gonna hurt. And for two, it's like kind of it's close. It'll be the closest in my ear that I've ever done.
Do it at a doctor's office
Well,
because they could put better numbing stuff on it.
that's true. I have not thought about that.
I had an endo right now.
Do they still pierce things at doctors' offices?
I think so. I think you just call and make an appointment because that's these girls that I nanny. That's how they got their ears pierced.
Yeah.
They
Well,
went-
that's like lobe though.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I liked the piercer who did my first helix. She just didn't numb it at all. But like that didn't hurt. And I know that the conch would, but I really liked her. And I have a lot of conflicting feelings and like I want it, but I want it to just show up and already be there and be healed.
Dilemma, a true dilemma.
I genuinely though, I don't mind the healing process because like if it's a constant thing, you kind of get used to it, But
Yeah. Oh, so this is really disappointing. I was listening to our podcasts for once. None of them actually captured the can opening.
That's so
It's really sad. I don't know why, but it's like the microphones never want to catch like those noises.
because they have too good of pop filters on them.
Yeah. Darn technology being good at what you're supposed to be good at.
Darn microphone giving me what I paid for.
There was just like the silence, and you're like, I feel good about that one. And I was like, it was silent.
So no.
Like, I don't even know if it would pick up if I tried to do the sound effects like that. Probably.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Hey, Jasenia, let us know.
I've just been driving so much lately for all my rehearsals, so I get sick of like listening to music all the time.
You could start some true crime.
No, I have plenty of other podcasts. Like I have House of Halliwell that I could catch up on too, because I was liking that one.
Is that the one about the school?
No, that's about Charmed.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
That's a fun one.
Nice.
Yes.
Good.
Or my coworkers podcast about scary movies.
Yeah, I do need to start that one. That sounds right up my alley.
Yeah, he definitely was like, do not listen to the oldest ones.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do.
I know.
You listen in order.
Like, that's how it goes. You got to go on the journey with the podcast crew. Hello.
It cracks me up because Morbid, one of my favorite podcasts, when they first start recording, it sounds like they're underwater. So like the first probably 10 episodes, the sound quality is just not quite there. But it's still a really good podcast because like they started strong, obviously. That's how they grew their audience. But then you can tell like the second they get better equipment, it's like and then and That's Why We Drink, which is my favorite podcast. When they first start, their first like year is at Christine's kitchen table. And when the very first episode, it starts with, "Hi, I'm Christine, and this is, do you want to go by Emily?" And Em goes, "Ew, no."
Great.
And Christine, because they really didn't know each other that well. They like went to college together and then like reconnected when they moved to LA. And they like only knew each other and only like were friends because Em is really into paranormal stuff and Christine is really into true crime. And they were like, well, you like weird stuff, I like weird stuff. And so that's how they started the podcast. So like the whole podcast, the first like year, you really just get to listen to their friendship grow, and it's so cute. But like the first episode, Christine gets Em's pronouns wrong because she just didn't know.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just, I love listening to podcasts from the beginning because
you get all those little gems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even if it's not quality audio,
you go on the journey with them until they get the better
Exactly.
audio. It's a journey, which is the unit my children in English are in right now. Journeys of transformation.
oh,
Yeah.
what book are they reading to go along with that?
we read the Odyssey, and then we read the Robert Frost poem on Friday.
Okay.
And then tomorrow we're gonna get into some Joseph Campbell, The Power of Myth.
Ooh.
hmm Archetypes and all that jazz. The kids, it's gonna go over their heads, but it's
Yeah.
gonna be fun for me.
I mean, at this point, that's what's important.
Honestly, I'm like, I don't even care anymore. Like, I just need to enjoy what I'm doing. Otherwise, I'm
Yeah.
miserable.
I mean, you're the one that has to be there every day, so.
Yeah, I have to be there every day teaching these children something, so it might as well be something I'm interested in.
Agreed.
And it fits with the unit, so great. They're
Love it.
doing a Greek god goddess project that's due tomorrow, so I get to see what they came up with.
Great.
Because I thought that would be a fun
Yeah.
thing that is not in any of the textbook stuff, but I was like, why not give them some excuse to get a better background on Greek mythology after we just read the Odyssey?
Yeah. Good.
Mhm. Oh, who knows? I was like, this is the original, you guys. This is the OG Journey story.
And they probably were like, okay.
Yeah. There's someone in there that's like, I love Percy Jackson. And I'm like, well, that is basically the Odyssey.
Yeah. Like, congratulations, you read the watered down version.
Pretty much. And I was just like, Lord of the Rings. And then I was like, and do you all know, like, Lord of the Rings is basically a watered down version of this 15-hour opera called The Ring Cycle. And they were like, what? And I was like, it's Wagner, you guys. I'm like, you've definitely heard one of these pieces of music. And so I pulled up Ride of the Valkyries for them.
Good.
Which is a piece I've played.
Of course.
It's really, it has this really ridiculously tricky string section for no reason, because Ride of the Valkyries is a brass piece. The focus of that piece is the brass section. That's the focus. What you do not notice is that the strings
Are dying.
underneath are going. And then there's this like one unison section that's so freaking hard. It's like it's craziness. And like it doesn't even matter. It's just like fluff on top.
Right.
But it's really hard.
We love fluff on top.
Yep.
Well, it is about time for us to head to our party. So bye, bitches. Just kidding, we love you.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Halloween weekend. I'm unhinged.
Glory. Yes.
I was like, people to say glory to God in the highest. Peace on earth.
It is Sunday, okay?
It is Sunday.
Go in peace, serve the Lord. Thanks be to God. I was raised Lutheran. It's different.
Blessed be the fruit.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Praise
May
be.
the Lord open. Anyway,
Okay.
we're gonna go before I get smited.
That's for me.
I
Okay.
know. Anyway, it's almost Christmas. It's almost Jesus season. I mean, no, I'm just digging myself.
You're making
deeper.
it so much worse. Wow. Okay. Bye.
Well, we're thriving.
Oh yeah, clearly.